Hello and welcome to the Gold Advantage on the Bo3 Network. We are bringing you the latest action in League of Legends, covering the LEC Playoffs on this episode. If you're interested in the LCS because it's an entertaining but low talent league, you can check out the video that we uploaded yesterday. I will put some sort of link up around here. There is some talent. I find it actually a very entertaining league, so I would definitely tune in. There's some fun matches over there.
There are years where the LCS is...
I mean, we're weeding it down.
There are years where the LEC is far more entertaining than the LCS.
Yes.
I would say this year's kind of the opposite.
I would say it's the opposite. I think the LCS has been more entertaining. And this weekend's matches, honestly, when people talk about the EU talent, this weekend was not it. I just saw inting after inting after inting. Rogue beat Mad Lions, which should make me happy, but it doesn't because I thought Mad Lions played bad and I thought Rogue played slightly less worse. Fnatic XL was the battle of which ADC can int the most and which support cannot play Yuumi. I think Mickey won that one. His Yuumi was worse than Hyllisang's, but it was a tough fight on who could detach the most and get caught out in the middle of fucking nowhere for no fucking reason. So, where do you boys want to start? Because...
I mean, listen, I'm trying to stay composed here in my very comfortable best of 3 hoodie, which you can maybe get one if you find us at LCS Championships in Chicago, Illinois at the United Center. Pull up, we'll be there, 2 of us at least. You know why I'm trying to stay composed is because after being told over and over again that Mad Lions is going to win this series against Rogue, you stick to your guns a little bit.
Stick to your goddamn guns.
And of course, I mean, Rogue comes away with this. Listen, I don't think it was an inting fest. I don't think Mad Lions played great League of Legends, but that is exactly what I expected. I think they had a good split, but I think, again, like, best of 5's completely different story. And Rogue showed a lot.
They finished very soft.
I would say.
Going into playoffs, that was not the same Mad Lions team that we expected to see.
Yeah.
It's not the team that we saw earlier in the split, right? And so, Scoot, to your point, you saw what was very much in front of you. Maybe I was hoping for some of that former glory and the playoff Mad Lions I'm used to over the past year and a half. And to be fair, the same Rogue playoff team that we've seen over the past 2 years. But good on Rogue. Look, it may come off as us being Rogue haters at times. We are very much Rogue fans. We root for Rogue. We hope they succeed. But this is a betting podcast, and we try and...
No, I'm a certified Rogue hater at points. Like, I don't even get it twisted. I don't love Rogue or anything. I like some of the players.
A G2 boy.
But... Oh, I'm such a G2 boy. I love Carlos. Love the org. But I think, listen, Mad Lions not great. Rogue at points also didn't play incredible League, but at the same time, they played better, clearly, because they edged it out. But I think this is a bigger series win than we're giving it credit for. Because for Larssen, I think, to be in a best of 5 and, pull it out when it matters, but also the entire org. Mad Lions has been their kryptonite in playoffs year over year at this point. And it's been a huge problem for them, and to get over that hump is big. Do I think they can beat G2 as they played last week? Not really, but we'll see. I think a lower bracket run, I've said it from the beginning, is very necessary for them.
Well, they're going to have a chance when they lose to G2.
Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't impressed. I was kind of I think Mad Lions, like you said, has been inting. Mad Lions inting. I don't even know if I'm happy that Rogue has won the series and made it forward. It's just
you're so
he's protecting
not
himself.
About it.
He's
you're
protecting
so
himself.
Not trying to say that Rogue played.
He's protecting his heart.
League just so that you can keep rolling this little
G2,
curse that you have.
G2 looked incredible. That's the problem. On the other side, G2 looked so good. I mean, they really are coming into their own. They know what they're doing. They're firing.
Game 4.
This is what we expected. His team is engineered to win.
Game 4.
Dude, I am the one that's really God XL must be just broken. I mean, they had a 6K gold.
Are you talking about Misfit?
No, I'm talking about XL versus Fnatic. Game 3, they were up 2-0. they had like a 6K gold lead. The casters were saying, yeah, look, hey, this is it for the Fnatic season. And then they throw the game, and then they throw like the next one, and then that is it. They lose. And like, what a fucking disappointment for the end of this, because they should have won that series.
They had Soul pretty much locked up, and they just didn't take it. And then they
had an Elder Dragon fight that they threw, but it was just like throw after throw when they had the lead locked up. They just it's such a shame. Should have been a 3-0.
Dude, but it's so disappointing, because I think like the one thing that I sit back on this season, I'm like, XL, make this swap for Mickey. It works out really well. Like, they have 2 incredible regular seasons, and then it's like, I mean, you put him 1 on Yuumi game over game, which is like, you know, a support player's worst nightmare to play, because you're not really doing anything. You're just attaching and detaching. The only thing that can happen if you're a support player,
but
can't
I don't
have
know why
an
they're
incredible
detaching.
Yuumi
No,
game, because everyone's
Yuumi's
like, oh, you played
OP as
passive.
shit, but for some reason
but
they
nobody's
keep
gonna be like, oh,
detaching
that's support.
and just fucking walking opposite. Like, and what? They're crucial fights. This is like really annoying me. There were crucial fights where Patrick is going in, and he goes in, and fucking Yumi's not on him to give him the shielding and healing. Like, what's the point of playing the fucking champ? Sejuani does not need more fucking heals or shields, you morons. And then Hyllisang got caught in the jungle like a dozen times backing. Why? Why are you detached backing in the jungle?
My point is that since it's not the most mechanically skilled champion, your ceiling as an ADC for like how good of a game people will think you had on the champ is like so low, and the only outcome where you get any notoriety is the one where you
there's ones where,
which is
like, and especially when you look at the LPL and LCK, they're the ones where you put out an obscene amount of healing and damage and shielding and play the champion correctly, and it's broken. But you know, like,
but nobody's sitting there that? Like, but nobody's like, oh, that was like an incredible.
Yeah, they
Yuumi
are. They
game.
ban them.
They're
they do.
Like,
They're like, this is too OP.
OP.
We're banning this because it's so great.
Like when Hyllisang played Yuumi in Game 3 and had 23 assists and 2 kills. Yeah, pretty decent Yuumi play.
Yeah. Well, he's still.
I mean, dude,
should have had more. There was one bit where they throw out the stats. I don't know if you guys saw this between Fnatic, like playoff stats between Fnatic and XL, and I just cracked up because it's like on Fnatic's side. Playoff stats: 108 wins, 76 losses. They have been in the league for 20 seasons, and they have made 20 playoffs. They have 7 titles. On the other side, XL have 2 wins, 3 losses. They have 2 playoffs made, and they have 0 titles. It was like 108 wins to 76 playoff games for Fnatic to 2-3 on the other side. I was like, this is such a disparity. It's insane. Literally, you know, it's they have 40 times as many games and experience on that side from one org or the other. Anyway, Fnatic made it through. This weekend has just made me feel like, apart from G2, the LEC is just not that good this year.
I mean, dude, G2 is incredible.
Yeah, but you're talking about one team.
Like,
well, that's why I said apart from
awesome.
one team, and I really think like I don't even know if the LEC makes semis this year. I think they might just make like 2 quarterfinals and that's it.
I don't know, dude, because you look back on it, it's like G2 absolutely whipped the shit out of GG that entire MSI event.
But they'll have jet lag.
So I think like if they get the right matchup,
they'll be sluggish from American food.
Okay, yeah, whatever.
They might lose a player in the shooting.
Here's what I'll say.
So you know, you never know. But
my favorite part of we might actually lose somebody to a shooting. That's got a high percentage chance of happening. My favorite part of this weekend of the LEC has to be Game 4 G2 Misfits, where they pull out a Renekton mid lane and just fucking roll. Like, what is wrong with them? It's so incredible. I honestly, seeing Renekton and Gwen work in tandem like that is the most ridiculous thing to see on the map. But it was so good.
It was
so good.
That was
So much frontline damage. Like, what are you gonna do? It's just
that one was a good one. This is quicker one. So now Fnatic is playing Misfits. I gotta say, I thought Misfits actually. I mean, they got beaten, but did you think they played better than Fnatic? In my opinion, is yes.
Yes,
I think
unquestionably.
Yeah,
even like the game 3 against G2, like it felt like they were still playing. It wasn't like G2 ended up, of course, like kind of like dominating it, especially at the end and winning a lot of the team fights. But like especially early, like I'm bullish on Misfits. Especially for a lower bracket run here. You've got them coming against Fnatic, then going against the Mad Lions if they beat Fnatic. Like, the way that Mad Lions is playing, could Misfits win the next two? 100%.
I'm not super bullish on Misfits. I view them very similarly to FlyQuest at points. I do think they played better than Fnatic, but again, let me remind you, this is esports. Anything that can happen will happen. And of course, Fnatic being Fnatic, I have to believe that there's some magic in there to at least have a deep series, even though they looked like shit last week. The one thing I will say about Misfits that favors them a lot in this series is something that Fnatic doesn't seem to have at any single position right now, which is like Vithio can just take over. And he's proven to win best of ones for them, which is key to winning a best of 5. You got to win 3 best of ones.
But that logic is undeniable, Scoot.
I know, but I think there's a chance that it adds a lot of stability because they have to focus on him, and then the team gets to play kind of champs that they're more comfortable on to the Misfits comp. So that's where I favor Misfits a little bit in this matchup. And of course, like all betting lines will tell you to go Misfits here, just because Fnatic gets so much.
But I was gonna say that's great because right now the money line on Misfits is 2.23,
great for Misfits.
1.67 on Fnatic. So I'm like, I love that just the money line on Misfits. I think is so good.
So good.
I wouldn't
even need to do a -1.5, but you.
I actually, but I love -1.5 at 3.29. I'm like, I do 3-1 or a 3-0. I'm like, the thing is, it's like I don't think we'll get a 3-0, but so a -2.5 is too risky for me. But I feel like I'm getting -2.5 odds on a -1.5 with this. I fucking love it. I love it.
That's fair.
That's completely agree.
I prefer to play this. I prefer to play this a little bit safe on my end, just because I think, like, again, ridiculous shit.
You want to know what?
And as we saw, the ridiculous last week. I think +1.5 on Misfits is a lock at 1.6. So that's like, I'm just gonna take.
Let me tell you something that's a lock. Misfits -2.5 at 6.95. Me putting a unit on that is a lot.
Yeah, I'll put a unit on that. That's just like
that's
it's
a lot.
Such a. I mean, like, that is a degenerate play, but if it hits, I am.
Okay,
I'm buying myself like
the odds that
2
you put
tubs
a
of
unit
ice
on
cream.
it at -10,000.
Exactly.
A lock, but not the bet itself. Let's be very clear. There are no guarantees. That
I just think look, at the end of the day, I think, sum it up, is that I do think Misfits played better as a team. I think Vethio is playing. Zenzara has been doing decent, where I was actually pretty down on him. And more so than anything, actually, I'm looking, when I think about this series, it's less about Misfits winning and more about Fnatic losing. My God, did Upset make some brain dead plays. Wonder, mid-tower dive, dying to tower. Just what is he doing? Hyllisang is.
This is the same.
I think this
is
whole
the same
whole
Fnatic
year has not
team
been playing well.
This is the same Fnatic team that went 0-3 on the Super Week, had to do a play-in game, now beat Misfits to get in.
Yeah.
So don't get in, but to decide which place. So worth noting.
No. Fnatic went 3-0. I'm pretty sure in the last week of the season. They clutched up that last week. Vitality went 0-3 to miss playoffs.
No, Fnatic lost to Misfits.
So Fnatic lost, by the way.
I think they lost.
They
lost
flipped
a play.
They flipped it. Fnatic went 3-0.
You're right.
Fnatic went 3-0, but they lost.
And then they lost.
And this is what I'm.
So they clutched up.
Well, no, they clutched up, but then Misfits beat them. And I think Misfits probably have used this 2 weeks to get better. I think playing against a team like G2 makes you better, whereas playing against the XL makes you worse.
Agreed.
And I just, like, everything I saw from the XL, like, realistically, Fnatic should have been 3-0'd. And had XL not thrown game 3, like, and then this is the thing, Fnatic clawed back into it, but XL threw game 3. If they don't make that brain dead play and throw back to back ones, I think they made 2 or 3 in a row in that match to squander their lead. If they hadn't done that, we would have a 3-0 XL victory. And so
I think I also think the issue with how they lost that is so, like, our decision making was questionable. So what do we do now? Like, how do we trust anything after that? It wasn't even like they got skill gapped or anything by Fnatic, and Fnatic playing to, I think, the ceiling that they have on their roster, which they have not done all splits. So does that ceiling even still exist? Don't get me wrong here. Like, Misfits is all the value this week. Like, do not get it twisted. I'm not saying that Fnatic's going to come out here and shit stomp them.
They're not.
They're not.
On the other hand, though, I do think G2 is going to shit stomp Rogue in the upper bracket. We have G2 at a 1.653 and Rogue at a 2.26. I love the -1.5 on G2 at 2.31. I don't know. I looked at Rogue's win over Mad, same thing. It's like I said, it's like, I just didn't look clean. It looked messy. They just looked like they were struggling. Like, maybe they use this to, like, really improve and shore up, but they play during the regular season. They play the playoffs. I'm like, I don't know. Whereas G2 looked clean as fuck.
I am really not trying to be hyperbolic, but G2 at -2.5 at 4.66. Like,
yeah.
I and again,
it's legit.
I'm not advocating. I am
for
a
lot
lot
of
of these,
really.
But guess what?
Really are. This is a weekend where BNB wants to lose money.
-2.5.
I mean,
it's
funny,
feeling, guys.
I mean, funny enough, right? Nikki, I think on our LCS pod, you mentioned that out of a possible 20 games, 19 happened, right?
Yes.
Well, guess what? Out of a possible 15 games, 14 happened in the LEC. And here I come saying 3-0s fucking left and right. Totally.
Balance. The universe needs balance, and
correct.
Therefore,
so look, I'm gonna throw a unit on G2 -2.5 at for 4.66. I'm gonna throw a unit on Misfits -2.5 at fucking 6.95.
What happens when you parlay those two?
Well, 32.39.
Whoa! I'm throwing a unit on that one. I'm going all in. Fuck yeah, 32 units. Why not? Like, let's just do it. Fuck yeah. So this is how.
So absolutely, you and I were same brain going to the same place.
I love that. I love it.
But I'm gonna stack these. I think that Misfits is significantly better than Fnatic. I think that G2 is significantly better than Rogue, and I'm gonna stack them. I'm gonna say 1, 3, 5. I'm unbelievably confident in a Misfits win at 2.23, so that's fucking fantastic. And I'm unbelievably confident in a G2 win at 1.65.
Yeah, the 1.65 I think is okay. I actually do think the 2.60 on Rogue is very good if you want to hedge. But I don't have the belief, Scoot, and you're not convincing
2.26.
Yeah.
No. Here's your problem. You don't actually want them to win this game. You have to believe that they're not going to win.
I don't believe they're gonna win. I really, I already know that. I don't believe.
No, neither do I.
I don't think they're gonna win it.
Listen, here's what I've been saying the entire season. It remains true. Even when Mad Lions was good, even when another team was good, XYZ. It's been very clear that this is G2's league.
Yes.
The entire year. They took their break mid-season. They got their little reset going. Shout out league. Shout out technical skills. All that stuff resets. You know, it's a good little pun.
Such a good pun.
But they are proven to be a dominant team. This team only gets buffed in playoffs, and I also think this is a very good opportunity for Rogue to understand where their weaknesses are against the best team in the LEC and go on their lower bracket run afterwards. So yes, I think G2 -1.5 at 2.3 is extremely attractive value. That's goes without saying.
Happy to hear that.
Do I think Rogue can piece one together though and win a map? Yes, like they can win a map. 100% win a map.
What I will say is, Nikki, I know that you and Scoot are gonna be able to do a one-off LCS pod before the weekend, or once that game gets.
We're
set.
also going to do one for Mad Lions versus.
I was going to suggest maybe a Mad Lions versus Mischief one as well, and I won't be able to attend that, unfortunately, because I'll be at a stupid bachelorette party that I'm.
I like it that you're putting that out on the internet. I hope they don't follow the podcast.
Them we love. My opinion of 40-person bachelorette parties, I've already shared with them, so that's not news.
Okay, that's fair enough.
What I will say is, I think that Misfits or Fnatic beat Mad Lions.
Oh wow!
Well, Fnatic wins this match. They're hot.
I don't think that. Okay, well, you have it. Look, we have the B&B, and I was actually going to ask you to do a little video clip to send in your opinions on the LCS matchup, so we'll get that. But
I have one opinion. I'd like to opine.
You've never had just one opinion.
I think this Rogue team, and I feel kind of robbed, but I wish that they had Hansama instead of Comp. Because I think they would be very.
That was them. That was them for the past 2 years. And
no, because they didn't have Malrang before.
I think they did have him last year.
But they had.
I think it's a different look now.
Who was fucking? Yeah.
Who, by the way, good call getting rid of him recently.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, no,
he's now gotten a. He's gotten a ring. He's gone to MSI. All of that, so.
Rogue's going to
they're going to Worlds.
They're actually they haven't officially locked it in yet. They're like
have they not?
5. No, it's just G2.
I think that's untrue.
It might be untrue, but I'm pretty sure that only G2.
I think that's a lie.
No, I was like G2 Rogue and Fnatic. I think
it's based on points. It's not based on.
No, but you have to get it's both. So you need to so Fnatic is going. Fnatic's locked it in. They just had to win one series against Excel, and I'm pretty sure they had.
No, because you have Misfits at 80 points, Fnatic at 80. I'm looking right at the points.
All right.
You have Fnatic with 50 from the spring, Misfits Gaming with 30. Yeah. Right now in summer, you have 30 from Fnatic, 50 from Misfits. So they're both deadlocked at 80 points each. But 90 for Mad Lions, 140 for Rogue, and 210. But then you get points based on where you finish in playoffs. So I think only G2 is.
I think Rogue is locked.
So Fnatic or whoever wins between Misfits and Fnatic is locked then.
I'm pretty sure it was a Mad Lions Rogue winner is guaranteed. I'm almost certain.
Good.
But I will say this. I was in a lot of Discords this weekend, and actually one mainly, but I said it over and over again. This Fnatic team has not been the same since G2 absolutely pegged their shit in the lower bracket last split. They just have not been the same at all. It's been hilarious. Because remember they went 3-2 against Rogue upper bracket. That was a crazy match. Everyone's like, oh shit, Fnatic can punch it out with top dogs.
Yeah. No, they haven't. But I don't think they've been able to find the tempo. And honestly, I don't think. I think Upset hasn't. They went through roster changes. They just haven't been stable. So, anyway, look, this episode is way shorter. I don't really have anything else to say. Do you guys? Anything? Last comments, last ads? You've already opined, Scoot. So you keep those bloody keep those opines to yourself.
I think I have.
It's pretty one-to-one issue here.
I think I have the world's thing figured out. Teams qualify for Worlds based on summer playoff result and no other criteria. So because Rogue and G2 are already into semis, they're guaranteed at least
a certain amount of points.
Playoffs.
Yeah,
the play-ins. I mean.
But what are we gonna do when Rogue wins it?
We'll record a special podcast where Nikki cries.
It's not gonna happen, but I'll be so happy. I'll be so happy.
5-minute cry
for
episode.
2 years.
Oh yeah,
it's not gonna happen.
It's totally not.
I don't believe in it.
Totally not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen.
Anyway,
no, it's totally not.
Thank you for tuning in. If you are interested in the LCS, we have done another podcast covering the playoffs over there. That was uploaded yesterday. You can find us on all social media podcasting networks, YouTube under @Best3 Network. So please give us a subscribe, follow, like, comment, hit that little bell, all the good and fun stuff that you all know about. If you are a North American fan who is watching Europe and you happen to be in Chicago for the LCS finals, Scoot and BNB will be there with some custom, comfortable best-of-3 hoodies.
We have locked in. We have locked in finals.
So,
limited run, big logo hoodies. What do you know about this shit?
Make sure
it's awesome.
to hit them up. We will hopefully be doing a European one at some point soon. Otherwise, that's about it. Thank you for subscribing. Enjoy this weekend of League. We will be doing a special addendum episode to cover the Mad Lions versus question mark matchup. So make sure to tune in for that.
Misfits.
And we will see you later on, I guess. Have a great day, evening, morning, whatever time you listen to this. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Toodaloo.
Peace out.